Hi folks, I'm Jason and this is my daily vlog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy. Evening folks, it's Tuesday evening, it's 7:30. I've had a really quiet day today. The reason being is yesterday took a lot out of me. It's also knocked Deb out as well, bless her. She slept quite a lot. My thyroid's still playing me up, must be. I've had another sleep this afternoon. I've been up about 25 minutes, give or take. Not doing anything for the rest of the night. I'm going to watch a couple of films on Netflix actually, so I'll have some movies to rate tomorrow. I'm still getting over the fact about Keith Flint from yesterday, to be perfectly honest with you. I've not accepted that yet. And now it turns out, apparently, according to his band members, it looks like he's took his own life. They just go show you. I brought this up time and time again. You don't really know how a person's feeling from the outside. You can't tell. It's a horrible thing when you're depressed and you're anxious. I'm hoping that he's at peace now. I'm hoping he's found his peace because he was a brilliant, talented bloke. He was a really decent bloke as well. I mean, you might look at him in the videos of the Prodigy and think, God, he's a rough and he was a bit of a nutter and all this kind of thing. But he was a really decent, nice bloke. People won't say a bad thing about him. He was a lovely guy. I remember a while back, I was sitting in a doctor's surgery, I think it was, and when they have the magazines around like Good Housekeeping and Elle and all that sort of stuff. Well, I noticed one, and it said interview with Keith Flint. And I thought, what? Never. Anyway, I picked it up and I opened it up and I read it, and it was absolutely brilliant. It was this very frank interview with a guy who was basically as down to earth as anybody. He didn't let his fame go to his head. He wasn't one of these people who had to have the latest gadgets or nothing like that. He was a really nice, decent bloke. And reading this story about him, I wouldn't have guessed it was about him. There was pictures of him, just sitting around in his house in normal clothes. I'm like, no, that ain't Keith Flint. That ain't Keith Flint. Where's his spiked hair and all that sort of stuff? Because obviously, the Prodigy arrived beginning of the 90s sort of thing, and I fell in love with them straight away. I thought the music was fantastic. I thought the fact that they were different. I love anything like that where they're different, and I've got, like I said, I've got all their albums. I listen to them. I've got them. Some of them I've got on my MP3 player. I've actually got. I think it's here actually. No, I put it to one side. I've actually got the latest album. I've ripped it onto my laptop so that I can put it on my MP3 player. I did that about 2 weeks ago, and I've heard some of the tracks off it, and some of them are brilliant. They really are good. And it's just going to be very strange knowing now that there won't be no new Prodigy albums coming out with Keith Flint singing on them. It's a bit strange. And as if that wasn't bad enough last night, I'm sitting here about, God, what time? I was doing my video actually when Deb suddenly said to me, "Have you seen who else has died?" And I was like, "No." She said, "Luke Perry." I went, "What, as in Beverly Hills 90210, Luke Perry?" She went, "Yeah." I said, "Blimey, you couldn't have been that old." 52. It's like, how old are you getting younger? So that's two people in one day. I mean, obviously, a lot of people don't really know that much about Luke Perry. He was very popular in the 90s, like I say, in Beverly Hills 90210. And I think he was in something at the moment called, was it Riverdale? I think my friends just said that he was in Riverdale, and he was a really good part in that. And she said she couldn't believe it, to be told that Keith Flint had died. She was a fan of the Prodigy as well. Not as big a fan, obviously, as I am. But she liked the Prodigy. And then to find out that Luke Perry, who she watches Riverdale, to find out that he died as well was like massive. It was like, whoa. It just goes to show you, doesn't it? You take your life for granted, and then all of a sudden you don't have a say in the matter. It's gone. Um, as you saw from the video last night, my mum had a fantastic time. She really enjoyed it. I spoke to her today as well. She said it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And in a minute, I'm going to read out. I've asked her permission. I'm going to read out the verse that I put in a card. It was actually a poem, but I put this in a card for her. I wrote it myself because, as people know, I write poetry. And yeah, like I say, it went really well. Deb's cake, really popular. She was worried it wouldn't taste very nice. Apparently, people loved it, absolutely loved it. I've got a piece of it myself at the back of me. It's ready for me stuff when I'm hungry. And she does. I don't know whether you prefer this. This is a good question for you. If you like trifle, that's the first thing. Some people don't like trifle. But do you prefer homemade trifle or do you prefer packet trifle? Because Deb does it from scratch, you see. She makes everything from scratch. She does the cream, she does the custard, she does the jelly, she puts the Swiss roll in the bottom of it. She does all of it herself. She doesn't believe in these packet mix ones. And she took 2 up yesterday. One had got fruit in because the adults like it with tinned fruit, and the other one had got no fruit in because the kids don't like fruit. And apparently, when my sister came down this morning to drop off the things from yesterday, she said it all gone. Both trifles were gone. The dishes had been washed, and she brought the dishes back with her. And it was like, wow, that must have been really, people must have really loved that trifle. So yeah, all that went. I've got my sister coming up again on Sunday. Mandy, she's coming up from Stoke on Sunday to pick up a wedding invite. So that'll be cool because we'll get to see them again. Because obviously yesterday was all about my mum. I know it was my sister's birthday as well, our Mandy. It was her birthday, but with my mum being 70, it was a big special one. My sister's big special one is next year. My other sister, she's 50 next year. Yeah, so it's going to be a big year for her next year, bless her. And obviously she's getting married later this year as well. So she's got a big 12, 18 months coming up, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it should be interesting for her. I saw on the news today, actually, there's a couple of news stories that absolutely stuck out at me that make me laugh, really. It says that violent crime and police numbers have been linked. Well, I thought, well, if you've got 10,000 bobbies on the beat, police on the beat, and you take 6,000 away from that, or say 5,000 away from that, so there's only 5,000 policemen on the beat, crime is going to increase because people are going to think, well, there's no coppers around. If I want to thump somebody or knife somebody, there's no coppers to catch me because they're not, there isn't as many of them on the beat. So I think that's a bit of a stupid thing to say, really. That's like linking eating tons and tons and tons of fast food with obesity. It's just obvious. So why they would have to have a thingy linking that, I do not know. I'm baffled by that one. I can't understand why there wouldn't be a link, to be perfectly honest with you. Well, today in town we've had the royal visit. I think, I don't know, because I didn't go down. I'm not that bothered about that at all. I'm not that bothered about royal visits or anything ridiculous like that. We got William and Kate visiting Blackpool, and I just think it's just no, it's not something I'm interested in the slightest. Not in the slightest. It's just for those people who are into the royals and want to get the face on the in the TV or whatever, because the TV cameras are bound to be there. But it's just not for me. I'd rather just be myself and stay away from all that sort of thing, because I don't think the royals do much, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think they don't do anything for the likes of people like me, to be perfectly honest with you. They don't. They just go from place to place to place and get it all paid for. They don't have to worry about putting their hands in the pockets or nothing. So no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Anyway, that's one thing I was thinking of. But there's another one. Let me find it. Hold on. Where am I going? Yeah, this one. It was really strange. A Czechoslovakian man, has been killed by a lion he kept at home. And I was looking at it, I thought, what? And he actually kept a lion at home as a pet, and it's killed him. Well, if you've got a pet that's like that, I mean, no offense, but they are wild animals, So nature says that at some point, it only takes a slight thing and they can turn and, gone. That's what a lion is. It is meant to be out on a plain somewhere or in the wilds of Africa. And I thought to myself, well, that's why people have dogs and cats, hamsters, gerbils, goldfish, because you don't often hear of anybody getting eaten by a goldfish or clawed to death by a cat. And it's very, very rare cases where you get a dog killing its owner. It would have to be very, very rare for that. So I'm not totally surprised. If you've got a lion for a pet, you're asking for trouble a little bit there, aren't you? There was also something else that happened in Blackpool a couple of days ago. Didn't go in for it myself, to be perfectly honest with you. And apparently it was a naked skinny dip thing in the Sandcastle, I think it was. And it was for charity, obviously. But apparently there was thousands of people there swimming, stalkers. And I just thought, well, I can't swim anyway, because I ain't got the power in my arms and I can't lift my arms above my head in order to swim properly. I'd just literally sink. So I don't do swimming anyway. And I thought to myself, well, what would make you want to go and climb in with a load of people who were naked in a swimming bath? I've done things for charity. I've done various things for charity, including ice bucket challenges and you know, me Movember I do all the time. I've done dry January where I had no alcohol. But I can't imagine doing anything like that. And now, apparently, now I've just read now that they're on about doing a naked roller coaster riding record attempt. Why would you want to? The thing I've got about that, the problem I've got with that is if you're on a roller coaster and the roller coaster they're picking, if I'm not mistaken, is the Grand National, which is down Blackpool Pleasure Beach. That ride knocks you about and bruises you and bangs you about something chronic, right? That's when you've got clothing on. That's when you've got padding. And I can imagine the damage that will do to your body when there's no padding and no clothing to keep you protected. I mean, you're going to be slammed from side to side. And the sides of them things can give you bruises easy going bang, 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 and from side to side. So I can't really see myself going for that or wanting to go for that either. I remember last time when I went to Pleasure Beach. Well, it wasn't the last time, actually. It was a few times ago when I went to Pleasure Beach, because I haven't been for years. And I remember coming off something called the cat and mouse. And when I came off it, I was hurting. My sides was hurting and my back was hurting. And when I got up the next morning, all my side, this side and the other side, were black with bruises from where I'd been slammed into the side of the carriage as it went round the corners. Because it doesn't, you know, like a roller coaster goes around corners. This doesn't. It sort of goes bang, bang. You know, it just literally slams, turns, and slams again. It doesn't go round in a circle, in a nice little curve. It doesn't do that. So yeah, I know exactly what it's like to get bruised on roller coasters. Trust me. Anyway, I'm about to read that verse out. Yeah, this is the poem that I wrote for my mum. It's called Mum at 70. You were born in the late 40s, the middle child of 7 you were. Though you lived through the 50s, it's the 60s you prefer. You loved most of the music, you listen to it to this day. You're mother to 3 children who love you in every way. Through the years the family has grown, first a grandmother you were. Now we can add the word great as you celebrate another year. 70 years old and still going strong, independent and free now to live. That is why we are all going to celebrate all the love and the joy that you give. And I wrote that for my mum's 70th birthday. Thank you for watching my daily vlog. I hope it was informative and interesting. If you like what I'm doing, then you can subscribe to my channel by clicking there. And if you want to see exactly what I was talking about yesterday, you can look up there. Bye for now.